For the past months, my skin has been going through it. It would get better, and it would get worse, and better, and bad, and bad, and better, and worse, and you get it. But after struggling with it for so long, I finally found a routine that gave me these results in under a week. Before I get into this video explaining it all, here's a routine that helped me, and the products that I have bought to try and help me. Yeah, ouch. And the products I stopped using to heal my barrier. No actives, no exfoliators, no AHAs and BHAs, no acne medication and creams, no eye creams or occlusive moisturizers, especially those with fragrance to make this easier. So let's get into the video. Hi guys, so I'm editing the video right now, and the first video that I recorded when I was going through my flare and I found my routine and everything, like the light bulb moment, I just watched it and I'm such a bitch. I'm being so, I don't know what was wrong with me that morning. Maybe the fact that I didn't have breakfast and just started recording. I was so mean. So let's pretend like it never existed. I wanted to include it because I'm doing my routine with you guys, but I do not claim that energy. I don't know her. So yeah, that's why it's sped up and it's gone. Sorry. Ciao. Hi guys. So my skin is doing so much better, but it's kind of ironic that I'm starting this video in the dark. But I've been working a lot. I was gonna say like an animal, but for some reason it just feels wrong. I've been working very hard on this entire video. I wrote down so many things that I just did not want to miss because my skin is doing so much better. I'm also exhausted, tired as hell. I've been sleeping 5 hours every night with jet lag, allergies. Doesn't even matter, but if you're wondering why I might look tired, that's the answer. If you're not wondering that, I just need to touch some fucking grass, but I just want to cut straight to the point. My skin has gone through a pretty rough time because I started to break out in a rash. It wasn't hormonal acne this time. It was a rash that would come and go, and I had close comedones that I had no idea how I got them because my skincare routine is bulletproof for that, or I thought. I started to have acne, and then it would burn, it would sting. The skincare products that were the gentlest or that would always work for me started to irritate me, and it was absolute hell. And it was so difficult for me to figure out what the hell was going on because it would come and go. This was a case that I really needed to see an expert, a dermatologist, but I went to one, they were not of any help. And the other ones that I was referred to, well, they're booked out months in advance, and estheticians didn't really know what was going on with me. Doctors didn't even know. That is the worst thing about a rash. You just gotta fuck around and find out. Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. I thought I had perioral dermatitis for the longest time because it's like what Hailey Bieber has, it's what everybody has. But usually perioral dermatitis, when it's there, it stays there. And then you put creams like azelaic acid or clindamycin creams and it goes away. Mine was like a fucking shit show. It was going everywhere. It would go away, it would come back and all these things. So I was like, oh wow, my perioral dermatitis is spicy. And it didn't even look like the normal case. I'm pretty fucking sure do I have it? Probably, but I had something that was a little bit more complicated to figure out, which is contact dermatitis that I thought you could only get in your hands or in your body. No. I had something called a skincare barrier collapse. Now, I'm not a fucking expert. I don't know anything. I know a little bit about what I'm saying. I'm confident I know what the hell I'm saying, but I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any license, training, so do not take anything I say seriously. Just a girl that has gone through it all. And have my notes, because I don't want to say anything wrong. But yeah, that was my little disclaimer. All right, so here, my notes say, what the fuck happened to my skin? It started with a facial and me using salicylic acid toner, the Paula's Choice one. Well, I saw this girl on TikTok who had 0 pores and 0 sebaceous filaments, which is what I have. And I've always been told that it's permanent, it's just genetic and it's normal. It's just the oil production. Some people have visible ones, some people don't. I've had them all my life. And this girl was like, oh, this took it out for me or whatever. Maybe it worked for her. I bought it, I put it on my face. I put it all over. And then I got a facial that is like a technique that they use in Paris. It's like this carbon CO2 facial. That combination destroyed my skin. Not destroyed, but it damaged my skin barrier. Now, I don't want to blame the product, the toner, the salicylic acid, or the facial, because the problem here was my skin was not ready for it. It should have never been combined. I was the problem, okay? So, and that's something that I see a lot of people online say like, oh, this product is shit, or like, don't buy this, or this foundation, etc. A lot of the times it's you, baby. It's our skin that's the issue. It's helped a lot of people. They just don't have your skin type, etc. So I want to be responsible and say, if you're using that or if you're getting those type of facials and they help you, keep doing you. And whatever product I mentioned right now that I'm going to say it didn't work for me or it did work for me, remember what I said. It really depends on where your skin barrier is, the type of skin that you have, if you have any allergies, irritants, etc. It is so individual. Everything in life is so individual. It fucking sucks. Because it's very expensive to figure out what works for you. It's really fucking expensive. Either way, I realized that I had some sort of irritation right after the facial because when I would smile, I would develop little blisters around my smile lines. And it looked like I had like a herpes or like, I don't know, like tiny, tiny little blisters. And I would like scratch them and they would remain red, but it would like pop. And I'd be like, what is going on? And I had that for a few days. And then the next day after the facial, I wake up and I have thousands of blisters all over my jawline. And I say, I cannot fucking believe it. Because that day I had to like meet a beauty agency in Paris that was like interested in like maybe working with me one day for like, you know, a partnership, whatever. I always end up turning everybody down. It's fucking horrible. It's not, well, it's embarrassing because you like, there's people behind everything that are trying to make this work and it's their job to make it work. And I meet them, it's lovely, amazing. But then I get the products or like, I'm just like, guys, I'm so sorry, I cannot stand behind this product. And that's a conversation for another time. Wow, let's get back on track. Yeah, I had to meet people with 1,000 blisters, and this is also the time where I put this story up because I was like, okay, Mila, just fucking suck it up. Go to the meeting. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, like we need to touch fucking grass. And I did. And I started to go through like all of Reddit, all of Google, YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram. I messaged all the estheticians that I knew, all my girls that like know everything about skincare. And they're like, yeah, this looks like perioral dermatitis. Get some azelaic acid, cut out all of the occlusive creams that you may have, like oils or heavy moisturizers, etc. Just go to a gentle skincare routine. And I did that, guys, but it kept getting worse. And I was on that routine for a month or two and my freaking mouth area started to burn. And this is where, you know, azelaic acid, when you put it on wet skin or like when you start using it, even at a dosage of 10%, it burns. And especially if you have like a compromised skin barrier like me, it's really gonna burn. And a lot of people say like, push through it, it's gonna get better. So I pushed through it. And I think I only made things worse. And this was the time that I was gonna like go to work meetings, very important meetings in London. And then I had to go to New York to celebrate a launch of Scarlett Johansson's new lip products, and I was gonna film with her, which I mean I did, but I was like, there's no way this is happening. But luckily, this is how you understand there's karma is our friend. I got sick like 2 days before my flight and I started to have like a very sore throat and I had a low-grade fever, and I know when I'm sick. So I went on like a virtual doctor care in Paris and I was like, hey guys, care or whatever it's called. Amazing. I connected with a doctor in like 10 minutes and I'm like, hey, I have these issues. I don't have strep. I don't have white dots in the back of my throat, but it's irritated. I'm starting to feel sick. My sinuses are starting to get very congested in a sickly way, not allergies. And I have an incredibly busy work week ahead of me. I'm flying internationally like tomorrow. And she's like, I know exactly what you need. I don't think I took antibiotics, thankfully, because I didn't need them, but she gave me prednisone. I had no idea that prednisone gave you such clear skin. But during that time, everything calmed down. And I thought it was my skincare routine. No, it was the prednisone, but I looked amazing. And everything was fine. I felt great. I wasn't sick. But this is where I was like, oh yeah, it was perioral dermatitis. Everything is happy and lovely. Either way, everything was fine. But I come back from my trip, and the closed comedones start to pile up, and I start to have, again, these damn little blisters would come back when I would smile, because it would be like, you know, contact. I had no idea at the time. I was like, this is a really weird spot to be breaking out, but okay, body got me again. But I started to have all these, the texture was what really bothered me and what caused me to hide, because, you know, you can have acne on your cheeks. Vendemos tamales oaxaqueños. Either way, sorry, my boob itched. Yeah, I started to have texture on the forehead. Like, you look at people and you talk to them and it's straight on. They're not looking at your cheeks. And so for me, the forehead area and having texture really, really bothered me. And I was like, I have to get it out. So I talked to my dermatologist in Beirut and I was like, hey, what the hell can I do? This is like, I haven't had texture on my forehead in years. Well, that's not true. Like a year ago, from a similar scenario where I over-exfoliated, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I over-exfoliated again. But when I would like extract them safely, I know very well how to extract. Trust me, I do a phenomenal job at it. No scarring, as you can tell. But there was a ton of sebum, and I told my derm, what can I do? And she said, well, I gave you Differin last time. This is your time to try it and get on it. And I did. It helped a lot of texture come to the surface, but after like months, weeks, they wouldn't go away. And just more came out. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna lock myself in for like a weekend and just extract. And that's what I did. And it cleared my skin. The extractions gently, but like slowly over the course of a few days, I got them out. And then I was like, you know what? This really worked. Let me do the rest of my face. And oh my God, the purge was horrible. When I had this purge, it was totally fine, but the problem with me is that the closed comedones take a very long time to go away. And the cheek area, I don't feel confident in extracting it because it's quite sunken in, like it's not super flat like your forehead. I didn't want to damage my skin, so I got a facial, an extraction facial, and I don't think they did a good job at it because it was so aggressive. I've gotten extractions professionally done and they're usually I get little scabs, like little ones, which is totally normal. But these ones were big, so clearly, again, was it me? Was it them? I'm pretty sure, I mean, I've learned now that I still went to them with a compromised, collapsed skin barrier. But after going through a fucking chemical peel and extraction facial, this is where I started to realize, you know, I've been having flares, and I'll put all these photos here. I've been having flares with my skin for a very long time. Azelaic acid is not cutting it. My derms don't really know what it is, and they're not really being helpful. Even my estes, they're like the peels and everything that I used to do to get my skin in control, it is not helping. And I feel like it's something inflammatory. And I don't think it's my gut because I feel fucking great. That's always like, you know, the last resort because it's so difficult to, you know, measure that. My foot fell asleep. Why am I between the bed and the closet? I don't know. But what I want to explain to you guys, and I wrote it here, is that your skin barrier, it functions like a brick wall, which I hope you knew. And the bricks are your skin cells, and the cement, like the mortar that keeps everything together, that is your lipids, ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids. This keeps water in, hydration, and it keeps all the bad stuff out, like irritants, bacteria, allergens. And when it gets damaged, obviously the first sign is like dry skin, you lose hydration, then your skin becomes reactive. And even the products that used to work now begin to sting, or your skin reacts. And you can get blisters, bumps, inflammation, and texture that just doesn't go away. Why did no one ever fucking teach us that? Like, fuck, I didn't even know that until now. And I've learned from great estheticians, but I never got that like 101. Either way, this can happen. A barrier collapse can happen from over-exfoliating with AHAs, BHAs, retinoids, harsh peels, using actives on already irritated skin, or using hot water, rough towels, or having too much friction on your skin. I did pretty much all of the fucking above except the last one, the hot water. I used way too much salicylic acid. I use benzoyl peroxide every single night. Like, I've been doing that 5% for like 6 years. I put on azelaic acid on my very reactive and damaged skin barrier, Differin, a retinoid, and my skin fucking snapped. I mean, I'm so glad it wasn't that bad. Like, for what I did to it, it should have been worse. And now, a sign of a barrier collapse is stinging from normal products, flaky texture, blisters, burning, sensitivity to wind, water, cold air, the elements. What the fuck? Okay. And now, the reason why I've always used benzoyl peroxide is because it's my safe haven for acne. It is super antibacterial. It also helps reduce oil, and I'm very oily in my T-zone, but it's very drying and it's very irritating. And a lot of people, they just put it on for like a few minutes or like an hour before bed, and then they wash it off and they feel like that works better. But I've always just slept with it on. And azelaic acid, even though a lot of people say it's like gentle, the 10%, and it's anti-inflammatory, my skin was so inflamed that it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. I cannot wait to use it again when my skin is better, which it's like on the better, it's getting there. I have a dog hair in my fucking, it always happens to me. I look forward to taking azelaic acid when I am better. So here is the crazy part, the closed comedones, the thing that drove me nuts. Like, I'd rather have pimples than texture. That is terrible. I'd rather not have either. But for me, that was the worst part of this scenario, because I thought that you would treat closed comedones with actives. But when you have a compromised skin barrier, you do that by restoring your barrier. And so many of you guys literally like took the damn time to let me know of that. And I didn't listen, because I was like, nah, I've always used actives, so I'm gonna keep on doing what I knew. I wish I would have listened to you guys. But I also I got the extractions done because I have no patience. I was just mentally done after 2 months of them not moving. Would it have been different if I would have just cut out everything completely? Tamales oaxaqueños. Oh my God. I love Mexico. Either way, would it have been better if I just nurtured my skin from the beginning? Absolutely. But the problem here is that I never had the balls to cut out actives because I had been on them for so many years and I was petrified. And I thought the moment I stop using mandelic acid and benzoyl peroxide and all these things that I use, I'm gonna have like my full-blown acne situation back. Look at me now. I don't use any actives. I'm gonna get to my skincare routine pretty fucking soon. I'm almost done, promise. But yeah, crazy. I should have listened, but I was too scared. So let me tell you about what healed my skin. I stopped all of my actives because my skin just went through absolute hell. And I realized, you know what? Might as well do it now in the summer. I don't have any events scheduled. I was actually supposed to have a community event right now in Mexico, and I planned it for months, but it got canceled because we still cannot ship to Mexico, even though they told us we would be approved by May, and it's now almost July. Either way, I actually had a community event. That's why I had tickets and a room and everything booked here. That's why I'm here, and I'm listening to tamales oaxaqueños. So that was really sad. That's another video for another time. But with that cancellation, I was like, you know what? It's totally fine. My skin has been going through it. It's not going to change anything. Let me just stop. And I used the following products that you see here. And what I credit the most to restoring my skin barrier is a 20% zinc oxide cream that has mineral oil in it. I don't use a lot because it's quite occlusive, but guys, this fucking cream changed my life, and it has kept a lot of acne at bay. I'm not gonna lie, I still break out like every once in a while, but I put that little zinc oxide on and I'm good. My skin is not perfect. Like, I don't know if you can tell, I still have a lot of scars from that chemical peel, but I feel like my skin barrier is healthy. I use the Vanny Cream Moisturizer, you know, the toners, mineral sunscreens. I love the one from the Outset. It has like the perfect, almost 15% of zinc oxide, and it doesn't have that white cast that I have found. And an enzyme cleanser. The enzyme cleanser has helped my texture go away dramatically, but I avoided the Cicaplast Balm and the Avene, like the Cicalfate, like the Cicaplast from these brands, because they are comedogenic. And so I found the zinc oxide, the cream that I'm showing you guys now, to be a safer choice for me, just so I could psychologically feel better. I don't know if the other creams would have broken me out, but I just didn't want anything that was comedogenic, since I'm prone to that, clogging my pores. But I was very strategic in the way that I placed it, because mineral oil is a strong occlusive. It's great in moderation, but it can trap heat and fluid, and it can actually make inflammation worse, but the zinc oxide combats it. Either way, I was thinly applying it, and it would be the last step in my routine. And yeah, I mean, that has been my experience. I learned that acne or perioral dermatitis might be like the logical reasoning because it's so popular, but you can have a very, very different case than anybody, and that is also valid. It really just comes to show you that everything is so individual. I have something called contact dermatitis. Finding the products that worked for me was exhausting. I spent well over $1,000 these past months. I wanted to have more savings, but I was unable to save $1. I feel really shitty about that. I feel really guilty about that, but I'm just happy that I've found answers. And it's so weird because going through a skincare journey, you feel guilty because it's expensive, and it's also a waste of product because then you don't use anything, or you don't use a cream because it just doesn't work for you. And then it's like, I don't know, you feel like wasteful because you have a perfectly good product that you just have to throw away. It's a weird experience, but the craziest thing that I learned is that you can pause actives, you can heal your skin barrier, give it love and support with good products, and it reacts and it's happy. And I didn't think that was possible for somebody with acne prone skin. I thought that the moment that I would be gentle to my skin, it would, break out or freak out on me, or my acne would be like, oh yay, here for the vengeance. But no, it respected me and it loved it. So yeah, you can take a break. It takes a long time to heal a skin barrier. I'm probably going to be in this routine for the next 2 months minimum. I'm never going back to trying on a mask, a peel, a product without spot testing for a minimum 2 weeks. Like, I've learned my fucking lesson. And your skin is super smart, and sometimes you're in the way of healing your skin because of all the prejudice and all the shit that you read online. And even Reddit. Like, guys, Reddit is probably one of the worst places in the world to get any advice from. And I wish I wouldn't have read so many things on there because they prevented me from trying things that ended up helping me. And they also recommended a lot of things that did a lot of damage to me. So, but again, sometimes professionals are even not helpful. So it's a crazy, crazy experience. But if you feel like you've gone through a very similar experience, I hope that some of the products that I have on here may help you. I'm not getting paid to talk about any of these products. Zero. If I have them on my ShopMy, I might get an affiliate sale because that's like how the fucking platform works. You don't have to buy it through me, but they generally help me, and I hope that they can help you. But yeah. Thank you for listening to me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. And if I forgot to say anything, I will record a really quick video through my laptop while I'm editing. Sorry, future me. Future me, I'm gonna spit everywhere. All right, guys, it is midnight. I'm gonna have a burger. And I love you. Ciao. I'm literally doing my face right now. Sorry, I don't mean to scare you. Ceramides. I have been living off of ceramides. Vanny cream. There's ceramides in the Bioma Milky Toner. And lipids, guys. Omega water cream by the Inky List. This is so freaking cheap. I don't even think this even breaks $30. Maybe it does. I think my skincare routine right now is under $50, including my cleanser. So, ceramides, my skin loves it. Skin flooding as well, which is something I learned on my adventure into all the Reddit forums and the tech. Actually, no, it was TikTok. It was TikTok that taught me about, that very beautiful blonde woman that has glass skin. I'm somebody that toners, I cannot live without them. They change the quality of my skin. Change it completely. And anybody that says toners don't work and it's just marketing, girl, speak for yourself. Oh boy, you don't even know what you're talking about. And if they don't do anything for you, well, you just have good blessed skin, or you just thick skin. I don't know. I shouldn't be saying these things. This is when it's late at night and I just have to take care of making sure I don't say anything that's controversial or rude. Now, I'm gonna go in with my Vanny cream. Everything is still wet. Feels gross. Like, I cannot have product and water dripping down my neck. Feels gross, but it really helps my skin. When that dries, I'm gonna go in with this shit. All right, guys. Sorry for the interruption. Good night. Oh, my back. I cannot believe my hair. This is how I sleep with my hair, by the way. I grab a little clip and I make it into a bun. Oh, come on. Can you tell? It adds some sort of a wave. So in the morning it looks nice. Good night. Bonne nuit. Bonne nuit, mes amis. Bonne nuit. Buonanotte. Buenas noches.